All right, we are here tonight with the Apex Energy 150 at Iowa. Uh, Last week, the truck series was at Charlotte, and myself and Ryan were not here because I was having internet issues. Um, but we are back here tonight to take over and let Chris and Ellis get racing. The track facts here tonight quickly for Iowa are: it opened in 2006. It's a 7/8 mile. There's 12 to 14 degrees of banking in the corners. And they've got 150 laps here tonight. There are 3 sets of tires, 2 of which are in the pits, and the fuel window will be 65 to 70-ish laps. Ryan?
The Apex Energy Truck Series and Iowa Speedway. The trucks have been racing here since 2009. Looking forward to tonight's showdown. It's the Apex Energy 150. Thank you to all the beautiful fans who are tuning into this event. I'm Ryan O'Hara alongside Tony Hilbrand. And Tony, I hate to be biased, but this is one of my favorite racetracks because there's just so many options to run. Tell me what you know about this track.
Oh, this is one of my favorites. If it's not my favorite, it's right up there also. Also, it is my home track for all these big tracks that, especially on iRacing, because I am from Iowa. You got multiple grooves here in the corners. It's really fast for a short track, but it'll still eat away at your tires if you're not careful, especially that right front. Also look for action coming out of turn 4, because that is where people will snap loose if they're not careful as well.
One of the difficult parts of this track, Tony, especially for newcomers, is that bump in turn 2. If you hit that bump at the wrong angle, you're going straight into the wall. Tell us more.
Yeah, luckily though, that is a little higher in the racetrack, so if you stay towards the bottom or if you go way wide, you can miss it. But yeah, if you hit that like just on the edge, it'll completely upset the vehicle and you'll lose the steering, and as you said, you're headed straight for the wall.
Of course, these Goodyear tires are going to get a test tonight. Obviously, this track is known for chewing up rubber, and we've seen lap traffic play a major factor in some of these races. The top side is obviously the preferred line. If a lap truck is hogging that preferred line, that could potentially open up some passing opportunities for the lead lap trucks.
Indeed, and you always got your bumper for these short tracks as well. So it's gonna be quite an action-packed night. There's going to be a lot of side-by-side racing, I'm assuming, or expecting, and it's the trucks. What can you say?
We saw a lot of wrecks during practice. Do you think that was just a case of some drivers trying to, get their feel for the track, or could this be a potential indication that we're going to see a lot of crashes here tonight?
I think they were just pushing the limits, testing how far they could go before getting ready for the race and getting it under control. But with that, we will take a quick break for the national anthem before qualifying is over and we're gridded. We will see you back on the other side. And we got back. We were back just in time for qualifying to be over. It looks like Scott Sobczak is going to yet again be on the pole. We will go over the grid here in just a moment. Yes, Scott Sobczak does get the pole with a 23.409. Cole Sacchetti, a newcomer this season, is starting second in the 10. Starting third will be Chase Berry, Chris Smith in fourth. Fifth place will be Andrew McGonigal, Brady Powers in sixth. Rye Jones will be starting in seventh in the 91. Ellis Thomas will be in eighth. Ninth will be the 92 Josh Ward, and 10th will be Jeff Pogo in the 43.
And now taking a look at drivers 11 through 20, our points leader, Johnny Rapp, got a little bit loose during that second lap. He will start 11th. 12th, we have Patrick Daubenberger. 13th, Chris Lowry. In 14th, Jamie Leach. He ran quite a bit of laps during practice. In 15th, we have Cordell Lofgren. 16th, Shane Bradshaw. 17th, our favorite designer, Evan Pienta. Then we have Zachary Dowse in 18th, Jay Heischman in 19th, and Trevor Trago in 20th.
21st look, thank you. 21st looks to be Rhett Tucker, followed by Patrick Colby, last week's winner at Charlotte in the 9 in 22nd. 40 and then 23rd should be Matt Kuntz. Scott Tompkins is race control, so I'm not sure why it's got him gridded, but Timmy Emanuel, Nick DeCesare, Matt Scherf, Chris Tepp in the 15, and Tim Tokarski in the 25 will be rounding out your field here tonight. We have 28 trucks, it looks like. So
you never know. He could be gridding, he could be racing and doing race control at the same time. You know, he could drive backwards and clear his own black flags. You know, he's in control. This could be his day.
He'd definitely be earning his money's worth if that's what he was doing out there tonight with these guys. But yeah, we will have 2 laps here before we take the green. Anything you're looking out for here tonight yourself, Ryan?
I'm just looking for an exciting race, honestly. Iowa is one of those tracks that it took me a while to get adjusted to. And then once I did, you know, I started winning here more often. And yeah, I used to hate this place. I'd come here and, you know, hit that bump in turn 2 and just launch myself into the wall. And it took me a while to get used to this place, but now I have such an appreciation, and I wish that the actual Craftsman Truck Series actually raced here again. They haven't raced here since 2019, but who knows? Maybe they'll be back on the schedule in a year or two.
That would be nice. They are returning to IRP this year, I believe, so it would be nice for them to come back to Iowa as well. But yeah, like you said, it's definitely a rhythm track, so you just need to find your rhythm, and then people tend to like it a lot more when they're not trying to fight their truck as often.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
All right.
Go ahead.
I notice the pace car, the lights on the pace car are off. That's an indication that we are about to go green here at Iowa Speedway. The Apex Energy 150, again, thank you so much for everyone who's joining us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Slingshot Racing League. And to all the fans, be sure to ask us any questions, and we will be sure to answer about the show. Here we go, Scott Sobczak in the 17, leading us to the green flag. We are underway.
And it looks like a nice clean start by everybody. As they head off into turn 1, Scott Sobczak does clear the 10 of Cole Sacchetti. Chase Berry is on his inside, and looks like he's also trying to clear him.
And Sobczak, as he so often does, gets a huge jump. Cole Sacchetti falls back to third, and Sobczak will lead the first lap.
Definitely.
Looking back at the battle for 4th and 5th, Andrew McGonigal and Chris Smith side by side. Smith on the high side. He's got the run. He will maintain the position. But now there's a battle for second. Chase Berry and Cole Sacchetti going nose to nose.
Yeah, Cole dives to the inside. It looks like he's going to clear him out of 4 here. Just barely, but Chase has the run on the high side. He looked to the inside, but he pulled back up behind him.
I was about to say, he attempted that crossover and thought better of it.
And now it looks like Chris Smith is.
Oh, going sideways. That is Shane Bradshaw. What a save by the 88.
He
Nearly spun out.
You know,
What a save.
caught that just off the edge of the camera, but yeah, that was a hell of a job by Shane there.
Now most of the field is single file. Now looks like these drivers are starting to settle down at this 7/8 of a mile D-shaped oval. And Sobczak continues to run away with it, but this is a long race, my friends.
Yes, 150 laps is a long race, but if they do stay green, we can knock that out pretty quickly with about, what is it, 23.5 second lap times right now. But this track is pretty difficult as we've been going over, and if we get a rash of cautions, we'll be here for quite a while. Looks like the 92 of Josh
The
Ward.
91 of Rye Jones is looking to the high side of Brady Powers for that 4th position, and it looks like he's got the edge going into turn 1.
Yeah, but he's got a wall of a truck right in front of him, so Brady's going to come back to his inside and try to get him down the backstretch here.
Could that potentially be a risk for the 22 to overdrive it going into the corner? But speaking of overdriving, it looks like the 91 may have. Well, I'm impressed. I thought he overdrove the corner, and he just flat out drove around the 5 of Chase Berry.
He got it to stick, and he got away from the 22, and he's trying to clear the 5 here, coming through 1 and 2. He's going to get him cleared coming out of the corner, and the 22 looks like he's going to follow him or try to.
And Josh Ward is attempting to pass in no man's land, and what a crossover move there by the 92. And he's going to try to make a move for 9th place, and he is going to take it from Andrew McGronicle. So Josh Ward, quite the force the last few weeks here in the Apex Energy Truck Series, and here he is making moves.
Yeah, he had to cross underneath Andrew there, otherwise he was going to absolutely kill his momentum or run into the back of him, and it worked out for him. And well, he's already got a gap on the 94 a lap later here, and he's looking to run down points leader of Johnny Rapp here for 7th.
And it looks like these drivers, as I said earlier, are starting to settle in, and perhaps they're thinking, long green flag run, save your tires, because this track is surely abrasive, Tony.
Yes, you definitely want to save your right front, especially with the setups that you get from iRacing, which are more on the snug side. You will definitely eat up your right front more. It looks like everyone's doing a pretty decent job at just maintaining their pace, though. As you see, Ward going to the top side again here in 3 and 4, trying to get a run off the corner.
And Chevrolet doesn't have much of a presence in the top 10. However, they do hold the top 2 positions in Scott Sobczak and Cole Sacchetti. What do you think about the Chevrolets' chances here today, Tony?
Well, with Scott Sobczak at one, you definitely have a shot, and the 92 of Josh Ward as well. They've definitely been fast all season, and they tend to be up front almost the whole race. So with those two out there, I think they have a good chance of pulling it off here tonight.
And speaking of Sacchetti, he's a rookie to this series. Are you surprised that he's running so well in the early going?
I'm not sure. I don't know his background, so I'm as new to him as he seems to be to us. He's definitely got the talent. He's definitely showing that he's got the talent to be out there, though, and he's keeping a steady pace with Scott. It took him quite a bit of time to get around and clear himself for a second, so he lost a bit of ground, but it's staying about the same gap here the last handful of laps.
And Johnny Rapp, after that rough qualifying effort, is slowly making his way through the top 10. He's now in 6th, and we're on lap 14 of this 150 lap event. We're already nearly 15 laps in here, Tony. It seems like this race could potentially have a pretty quick finish.
And as soon as you say that, we're gonna hit like 18 yellows. No, but yeah, they're definitely doing a really good job here tonight. I think a lot of them are like after a couple races here where we were just under yellow forever. It seems like they got back to wanting to say, hey, we don't want to be here all night. Let's get this over with. As you see, the 92 is going to dive to the inside of the 52 going into turn 1. He's going to make that pass there for 6th.
And as we stated earlier in the broadcast, practice, there were a ton of wrecks. We were kind of hoping that wouldn't be an indication of how the race would would end up, but it looks like these guys are settling down pretty well.
Yeah, everyone.
Scott Sopsack continues to lead here. Let's go through the top 10 as we stand. Scott Sopsack, Cole Sacchetti, Chris Smith, Rye Jones, and Brady Powers round out the top 5. Then we have Josh Ward, Johnny Rapp, our points leader, Chase Berry, Andrew McGronigle, and Jeff Pogo.
Yeah, and right where Jeff is, right behind him, it seems to have everyone's bottled up. They did straighten out there a little bit, but that's where the tightest pack is, it looks like, is 10th through 13th there.
And the battle for the lead is getting a little bit hotter, kind of like a Wendy's cheeseburger. That number 10 Wendy's Chevrolet of Cole Sacchetti is starting to close in on Scott Sopsack. Do you think this is Sopsack potentially saving his tires, or what do you think the issue is here?
Yeah, the Sacchetti has knocked off half a second, and I don't know. He might be saving, but he does tend to just like go all out, it seems, quite often. So he might have actually burnt his right front off a little bit. As you can see, he had a little bit of trouble exiting 4 there. And yeah, Sacchetti is reeling him in really quickly now. So he might have used his stuff up already. And Sacchetti seems to have saved his. He's definitely got a better line, or smoother line on exit here the last few laps.
And we can tell you, using up your tires here at Iowa Speedway, it can be a lonely ride once you lose that rubber.
And you got to go wherever the truck is going to take you at that point. It's not a good feeling.
Well, that's pretty much the only close battle we have in the top 5, but at least it's for the lead. Oh, and Sacchetti nearly got the wall, and he was able to make it stick, and he's going to take a shot here at Sopsack going into 1.
He's
not going to be able to get him off the corner, but let's see what happens in 3 and 4.
Like I said, he's definitely got better arc right now, both entering and exiting the corners, and that's definitely helped him get cut all this time off. And he is right at his bumper now as they cross the stripe.
Tony, as the 10 truck continues to get into dirty air, does that open him up to use up his tires as well?
It depends on how hard he's going to try to push to get around him. If he's content in just getting to him and now just riding until he makes a big enough mistake where you can capitalize on it, then he'll be able to keep his tires under him quite a bit here. But if he gets a little aggressive and tries to go for it, he might hurt his tires just as badly. But it looks like he's content right now with waiting for Sopsack to make a mistake.
Speaking of riding, Rye Jones just drove around the 28 of Chris Smith to take 3rd.
Looks like Brady Powers is trying to do the same thing, but a little bit of a gap there. As it closes, actually, and he's going to dive to the inside of Chris Smith, going into 1.
Let's see if he can make the pass. Smith's got the run on the high side, and it looks like Powers is going to have to reconfigure his strategy.
He takes a higher line in 3 and 4 than he does in 1 and 2, but we'll see if he's just trying to see if he can make Chris make a mistake and capitalize on it. He goes really high through 1 and 2 there.
We have quite a battle here around the 14th position. We have a lot of trucks here. Evan Pienta is there, Patrick Colby, last week's winner, Ellis Thomas, Jamie Leach, Zachary Douse. They're all battling pretty hard back here just outside the top 10.
Yeah, there's like 7-8 trucks right there, starting with the 43 of Jeff Pogo. And then you got 2x2x2. They're definitely doing a good job keeping it off each other, though, as they try to go 3 wide. They are 3 wide on the exit of 2. Ellis brushes the wall a little bit, trying to check up to not run over the 77. And Patrick Colby's going to clear two spots there, last week's winner.
Colby got loose off the corner, and that's going to allow Ellis Thomas to get a run down the straightaway. Let's see what happens in turn 1.
Yeah, Ellis has that same issue that Jones had earlier, where there was somebody right in front of him. So it's kind of
And
blocking.
Thomas got the bump. Thomas hit that notorious bump in turn 2, and that caused him to lose some momentum. Here he comes on the high side, and he's going to give Zachary Dowse a bump draft down the straightaway.
He's telling him to move, get going, or get out of the way. I'm trying to get around Patrick here, but he's going to lose a spot to Evan Pienta as well now, being held up behind this.
Thomas got the wall again down the backstretch. Here comes Pienta. He's going to try to make it 3 wide. Is that going to stick? And Colby will survive for now. Quite the battle here, folks.
Yeah, they're definitely putting on a show. They're doing everything they can here for 12th place, as the 2 and the 43 have pulled away from them, as they've really been battling hard here the last 2-3 laps.
And Brad Tucker, the 99, he wants some of this in that number 99 Ford.
Yeah, he's definitely caught them, and he's making his move.
And Thomas gives him a bump as well, and Brad Tucker momentarily disappears, as his internet is accustomed to doing.
Yeah, he's definitely had some blinking issues the last few weeks, as he disappears again down the backstretch. Evan Pienta is all over Patrick Colby, though, going into 3.
Looks like this battle has died down, but the battle for 8th place is starting to heat up as Chase Berry and Andrew McGonigal battle for position.
Yeah, Andrew's trying to use the apron there a little bit to rotate the truck on the inside.
And lap traffic starting to become an issue as well. Chris Tepp and George Fetzko have both gone down a lap.
And Cole Sacchetti is still just riding right there behind Sobzak in the lead. But they do have a comfortable 2.7 second gap over 3rd place of Ryan Jones, though. So.
And I'm starting to wonder if Tim Tokarski's having some issues. That number 25 is quite out of control and is really off pace, running in 25th. Starting to wonder if he got the wall.
His truck looks clean. He just might be struggling. I'm not sure what exactly the issue is, but his truck does look pretty clean. He just might not be a fan of this track, which is definitely a case for a lot of people, especially if they're newer to this track.
It's an acquired taste.
Yeah, definitely, especially when you don't have the rhythm down.
And Sacchetti challenged Sobczak for the lead a lap ago. But Sobczak is starting to gap Sacchetti just a little bit as they head down the straightaway. Let's see what happens in turn 1. Seems like that dirty air is starting to affect that pretend Wendy Chevrolet Silverado.
Possibly. That's definitely a possibility. Like I said, he could have started using up his tires once he got to the rear of Sobczak, trying to get an opportunity to make the pass. But he is still hanging in there, though, so that's definitely a plus on that aspect.
Tony, while there's a null in the action, I understand we have a giveaway for our Twitch fans. This month, we have a Kevin Harvick Tasmanian Devil diecast giveaway from what I recall.
For the Twitch?
I believe so. I believe that's what we were told before the race.
No, that giveaway is for the racers after the race is over.
Sorry, fans. We got mixed up on that one. Last week, we gave away a hat. Who ended up winning that?
I'm not sure because I was not here.
You were kind of with a snowstorm.
Yeah, we had a blizzard going on, and I was having internet issues, as Sobczak is also having issues with Sacchetti right now. Sacchetti was all over him down the backstretch, diving under him, going into 3. and they're coming up on the lap truck as well.
Believe it or not, you almost didn't have a broadcaster for this race because last week I had a severe allergic reaction to nuts and came within 20 minutes of dying. No joke. But I'm alive. On air for this incredible race that we're seeing here tonight, the Apex Energy 150. Again, thank you to all the fans who are tuning in, and thank you to the doctors who saved my life because that was the first time in my life I was legitimately scared. And I will never eat anything that's not mine again.
Well, I'm glad that everything turned out all right and you're here with us as the leaders lap the 25 truck of Tokarski, and Sakady is all over Sobczak once again here going into 3.
Tokarski is struggling. He nearly got the wall off too there, but here comes Sakady. Got loose coming off the corner, but he's going to challenge 17 to Sobczak into turn 1. Will Sobczak let him go?
Well, he pinched him in the middle of the corner there as Sakady had to travel up the track to make the corner, and Sobczak had to run off as he clears him back into 3 and 4 here. And that's definitely going to hurt the tires for Sakady. So we'll see if he tries that again or if he's going to let them cool off and then make another move later.
It looks like the 7 truck of George Fesco had a moment coming off turn 4. Quite the save there by the 7. And he got on the apron there in turn 1. And he is just having a night here.
And while we've been watching the battle around 10th and then the leader there for the last few minutes, the 92 of Josh Ward has picked up another couple of spots and he is running down 3rd place Rye Jones as well. He is only about half a second behind him at the moment.
Josh Ward has been quite the spoiler in some of these races, especially in long runs. What makes Josh Ward so good at these racetracks?
He seems to be very consistent in whatever line he does end up running, and that'll definitely help both with pace and with tire management. Whether it's the best or not, the consistency is what matters, especially on iRacing here, where if you run your line and you hit it over and over and over, you're able to tell what's going to happen with the tires, and you know exactly how you're going to be racing around other people. And he just, like I said, he's just consistent, and it's definitely paid off for him for the last handful of races that he's been running here.
And Tony, we're caution 3, knock on wood, through 46 laps. When can we expect these guys to hit pit road for green flag pit stops?
Well, a fuel run is going to be about 65 to 70 laps, but if the tires are going to last that long is a different story. They do have 2 sets of tires in the pit, and at 150 laps, if they want to go maybe cut it down to 60 and do 60, 120, and then have 30 laps at the end, which would be half of those other stints, that you might see some people doing that just to maximize tire grip. And Ward is all over the 91 of Rye Jones now as he takes the high line through 3 and 4 to try to get the run out of the corner and make the move down the front stretch here. We'll see in just a second if that works, as he does cut underneath Rye Jones at the start-finish line.
It looks like Sobczak, our leader, is moving up the line in turns 3 and 4. That is certainly a move to try to preserve your tires here at this racetrack. So perhaps we can see some of the guys, maybe around the 9th or 10th position and further back, short pit, and try to reel down these leaders and, get temporary momentum just before these guys hit pit road. Do you think that we might see some guys short pit to try to take a risk here, Tony?
I'm sure that you will see some different strategies like that. I'm not sure if I would do that far back, especially if you're that far behind the leader, as Josh Ward does make the pass on Rye Jones, but Rye Jones gets into the back of him at the exit of 4, but they were able to keep it straight. There was a little bit of contact there, though. Looks like somebody might be on pit road right now. Ellis Thomas is on pit road.
So yes, my prediction has come true. At least one person is going to try to short pit here. Is lap 51 of this 150 lap event. So we officially have less than 100 laps to go already. And Scott Sopsack has led every single lap. And Cole Sacchetti has been keeping him honest about these last 20 laps or so.
Yeah, Sacchetti is still right on his rear bumper.
Now we have more guys hitting pit road. Jamie Leach and Jeff Pogo are on pit road. Ellis Thomas has exited the pits.
Looks like Josh Ward, who was running in third at the time, is also on pit road. He is the highest runner that has made it down pit road. But yes, it looks like pit stops are starting now.
That means these leaders, if they want to maintain their position, they will have to hit pit road in the next few laps. Otherwise, those guys are going to reel them in.
True, but if they feel like they can maintain the pace they've been running for another like 10 laps or so, it would be beneficial to actually stay out, and so that when they do pit, they have another 10 laps on everyone else, and they can make that ground back up even more so later in the run. But we'll see what they do exactly, as Sacchetti is still all over Sobczak. Coming out of turn 2 here, he gets a big run. Sobczak had to check up.
And Sobczak takes the bite, and he's going to hit pit road. I was about to say he ran the low line and hadn't done that in a while, and he hits pit road, and my goodness, he came in there pretty hot there, Tony.
We'll have to see if he I think he got checked up in time, but we'll see if he gets a penalty or not. But yeah, the leader's on pit road, which makes Sacchetti the first driver out here to lead a lap outside of Sobczak, and he is staying out here yet again, so he's still not coming down pit road.
I was going to say, that didn't quite pass the eye test for me, but if he was able to, get that within the pit road speed, well, props to him. That was unbelievable. And Sobczak is on 4 tires and some Sunoco race fuel.
Yep, and it looks like he was all good to go, so no penalty for Sobczak on pit entry. And Sacchetti is still staying out. I think he's going to try to run as long as he can on this set of tires, so that he can have the freshest tires later in the run, this next run as well.
And as of right now, he holds a 6-second advantage over Andrew McGronigle. Chase Berry, Johnny Rapp, and Rhett Tucker round out the top 5. And now here comes Rhett Tucker to pass the 52 over the number 99 Ford into the 4th position. And it looks like Johnny Rapp might be headed to pit road.
No, he's still out there right behind him.
He blinked momentarily, so I couldn't tell where he was on the racetrack.
All good.
All good.
Jay Heishman is sitting in 6th, which is the highest he's been all night. Patrick Colby in 7th. Cordell Lofgren is in 8th. Timmy Emanuel in 9th. And Nick DeChesire is your last truck in the top 10 still. Sacchetti is still staying out.
It's the biggest surprise.
Sorry?
I think it's the biggest surprise so far in this race, Tony.
Just by default, I guess I'm going to have to go with Sacchetti, just because this is his first race here this season, at least, if not with the league in general. And he's definitely putting on a strong showing out here right now. And he's staying out yet again. He's, like I said, I think he's going to run this dry. He's got about 5 to 8 more laps probably on fuel.
Well, you said 65 laps on a fuel run, correct? Because he's on lap 62 now, so that would mean he's running pretty tight on gas.
Well, 65 to 70 is about
65 to 70, okay.
Within that range.
Depending on how hard he's run, and he nearly got the wall down off 2 there. And at some points in the run, he was, running down the 17 to Sobczak and running pretty hard. So I reckon he's probably close on fuel, but I could be wrong.
He's still running pretty decent lap times, though, for how long he's been out there. So,
absolutely, very impressive.
So yeah,
and
like
the 77 is Zachary Doust is struggling out there and nearly got the wall off too, and he got blown away by Shane Bradshaw and Ellis Thomas.
Douse
I
is
don't.
Douse is the first truck a lap down, though, at the moment. There are 13 trucks on the lead lap, but he is in 14th. And if a caution would come out right now, he would get the lucky dog. Then Josh Ward and Scott Sobczak, who are battling for 15th right now, are also a lap down. They have not gotten their lap back yet. But they are racing
And
pretty
the
hard.
15 of Chris Tepp nearly spun coming off 4. Sorry for interrupting you there, Tony, but that was a good save there by the 15. It's been a rough day for Tepp. He's got some brownie points for saving that. Not sure what kind of color truck that is, but it's quite colorful.
Leaders on pit road. Sacchetti has gone down pit road now.
We'll see if this strategy works out for Sacchetti.
But yeah,
as you mentioned, he's going to have the fresher tires once he comes out of pit road.
Yep. And also as I was saying, Ward and Sobczak were battling there for the last few laps. Ward definitely gained a lot of time in this pit cycle because he was about like 6 seconds back when he pit in 3rd place, and now he's about 4 or 5 truck lengths behind the 17 of Scott Sobczak.
And Sacchetti is back on the racetrack. We'll see how quick he can run down these leaders. Right now, he has scored a lap down in the 17th position.
Yep, the top 11 still have to pit. Andrew McGonigal is your current race leader after Sacchetti took it down pit road a few laps ago, and Andrew McGonigal is also going down pit road.
So, as we mentioned just before our broadcast, Tony, a lot of varying pit strategies, and we're seeing them unfold right now.
Indeed, and yeah, everyone still has to make at least one more stop as well, so we'll see if people who short pit this time try to make it last a little longer on the next run, or if they're going to try to split it into thirds like what Ellis might have been doing, and the other 4 or 5 trucks that went down at about the same time as him. Chase Berry
is heading down pit road.
And he was in 4th at the time. Chase Berry is your current leader. Rhett Tucker is not too far behind him, but he did brush the wall entering turn 1 and lost a bit of time.
Johnny Rodenberger's back on track after visiting the pits. Rhett Tucker is blinking as usual.
And Chase Berry and Tucker are both entering pit road. The top 2 are going down pit road.
Oh, the 51.
He loses it. Coming down to 4.
Is he going to save it?
I'm trying to...
Oh, and he's not. He's going to collect the 2 of Jamie Leach, and there's a big wreck on the front straightaway. Now there's no caution.
We'll see if they end up throwing one. We will take a quick look at the replay here. You can see he's drifting out of 4. Chris Smith had to go to the grass to avoid him. He's doing a decent job of saving it, but he just couldn't get it reeled in time before the 2 hit him. And yeah, the 2 hit him at full speed, so that might actually end. I think that might end the 2's night there.
Absolutely, that was a big front end collision. And Daubenberger, we had just mentioned, he had just come off pit road, cold tires. It just looks like he got into the corner too deep and just lost it, Tony.
Yeah, and as you see, Jamie Leach he blew his motor. So I'm not sure how that wasn't a caution, but we stayed green.
And in our Las Vegas race earlier today, we did have some issues with wrecks taking place and no cautions being thrown. So perhaps that's an issue iRacing needs to figure out. Tippy Emmanuel, who was in 2nd spot, he hit pit road. Scott Sobczak has cycled back to the front.
And Josh Ward is now in 2nd.
And it looks like Sobczak is holding 1.5 second lead over Ward. And let's go through the top 10 as we speak. We have Scott Sobczak leading the way, Josh Ward in 2nd, Ronnie Jones back in 3rd. Tippy Emmanuel scored 4th.
Cole Sacchetti's up to 4th now.
Out.
You know what that is for?
Let's take a look.
Oh, it looks like it's the 13 of Matt Kuntz.
And that is...
We're checking out the replay. He just loses it coming out of 4, and he just spins out in front of the field into the grass and just locks it down.
It's interesting that a caution was thrown for, a truck spinning off the racetrack, but a massive collision the start finish line was not called. But
Yeah,
nonetheless, that is our first caution of the day.
I'm not sure how that brings out a caution in the first one. The first incident doesn't, but I don't know. Sometimes things just there might be a full moon out tonight in the server. I'm not sure.
But speaking of tire strategies, obviously the fresher tires amongst top trucks, Paul Zucchetti is in the best position right now because he pitted late in that run. You think it would be beneficial for Sobsack and those other trucks that are in the top 3 hit pit road and get on that next set and
No, because
try to offset the
they
trend?
only have one set left, so it would not be a smart move to take tires right now. They only had 2 sets of tires in the pits tonight, so they've already used their first one. I would not take a set of tires right now.
Yeah, I mean that's a good point. So you win on that one.
All right, we are going to take a quick commercial break. We will catch you guys in a minute. Sorry about that. I'm not quite sure how long we were waiting, but we are back. We still have another lap under yellow here, as the lights are still on the pace car. Your top 5 right now are Scott Sobczak, Josh Ward, Rye Jones, Cole Sacchetti, and Brady Powers. And as we were talking on the break, this caution is definitely going to help everyone behind Sobczak, Ryan. Because it's going to tighten them up, and especially that 10 truck of Cole Sacchetti, who is on at least 8 lap fresher tires than the rest of the field, or rest of the field in front of him.
And absolutely. And looking at Sacchetti's tire advantage, a key aspect of Iowa Speedway is restarts. Getting that launch into turn 1 and getting that preferred line on the high side is the way to go. So it'll be interesting to see just how hard the number 10 Wendy's Chevrolet Silverado of Cole Sacchetti pushes it on this restart.
He does have a little bit of leeway to take it a little easy to make sure he can get through there clean with the tire advantage, but as soon as he gets by all of these guys, he'll be able to just take off too. So we'll see how aggressive he is on the restart here, as the pace car lights are out, and it's going to drop off down pit road here as they exit turn 4. Sobczak will be your leader on the restart. He chose the inside line with Josh Ward on the outside.
And going back to green on lap 79 of this 150 lap race, we are back underway.
Sobczak got a good jump there. He's going to clear the 92 of Ward, and Rye Jones is going to get to his inside.
And Brady Powers is going to take a look on the inside of Sacchetti. coming off turn 2, and he's unable to get the job done. Here they go into turn 3.
Yeah, as
And Stopsack is pulling away momentarily. Sacchetti is stuck behind Josh Ward and
Bry Jones.
Roy Jones, excuse me.
Yep. Yeah, and this is exactly what Sobzak wants to see. He wants to see them side by side so he can get this gap and then try to manage his tires so that he can save them a little longer than hopefully he did last time.
And Rhett Tucker is blinking towards the back. It's not causing any problems as complete lap of 80.
And they're still side by side for second here as Rye Jones washed up a little bit, and it caused the 92 to check up a little, and he lost a bit of momentum. Rye Jones does clear him down the backstretch, and here comes Brady Powers trying to do the same thing. And McGronigle is past Sacchetti, and he's up to 5th here.
Josh Ward is in that high line to work. He battles Brady Powers for that 3rd position. And Andrew McGronigle wants some of this action.
And he might stick it in there 3 wide or dive to the bottom, as he does dive to the bottom here, coming out of 4. They're 3 wide down the front stretch as they head into 1. Brady Powers pulls up behind the 92.
Tony, the 10 of Cole Sacchetti, he hasn't been in. It looks like he's struggling in traffic here, and the caution is out.
Yeah, we heard that. Oh,
And
looks
then
like,
the 7 of George Fetzko has hit the wall. Let's take a look.
and it looks like the 77 also got some damage. Yep, let's head to the replay right now.
It looks like one of them disappeared off the screen, so this might be a little bit hard to tell.
Oh,
what
it started.
happened.
It started ahead of them. It started with looks like the 25 possibly. Let's bring that back here.
25 disappears off the screen on my camera.
Yeah.
And
The
he disappears quite a
Oh,
bit,
it
actually.
looks like the 15 just looks like the 15 just sent it in too deep, washed up, and clipped the left rear of Tokarski, and that caused the mayhem there. And I'm not sure what this graphic glitch is, but we're gonna reset this for you guys. Oh no, it's still going on. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so I was unable to see what happened because there was blinking, but as soon as the 25 at Tokarski spun, it looks like he collected Fetzko, and they both hit the wall. Just like that. Cautions breed cautions, Tony.
Indeed, especially when everyone starts getting on top of each other and looking to make up as much ground as possible.
Oh, I guess we'll have to ask race control. Scott Tompkins, who's going to receive the end-of-line penalty. Who do you think is going to be the recipient of this one?
Well, like I said, I think the 15 just got in too hot, washed up, and clipped him. So, if anything, if anyone gets the blame, it might be him.
And the 15's already 2 laps down, so it wouldn't make much of a difference if he started the end of line, the end of the longest line or not. And we have one truck hitting pit, actually a couple trucks hitting pit row. Whoa! DeCesare nearly missed the commitment line. That was a close call. Matt Kuntz is on pit road, and Nick DeCesare, as well as Earl Lofgren. Let's take a look at our top 10 as we're on lap 86 of this event. Again, twitch.tv/Slingshot Racing League. Thank you to all the fans. And Tony, while we're under our second caution of the night, why don't we ask a fan question? You have anything?
Just who do you think's gonna hang on tonight to pull this out? Do you think Scott's gonna be able to keep driving away? Do you think Ward, now that he's back in second, it looks like Rye Jones must have taken pit while we were looking at the replay. Do you think Ward's gonna be able to hang on now, or do you think Sacchetti might be just saving his stuff here a little bit because I think that's more what he was doing as you were asking before the caution came out. I think he was just trying to keep his nose clean there while everyone else was being aggressive, and he just wanted to keep his tires under him because they were the freshest ones out there.
Josh Ward in that number 92. He reminds me a lot of Jeff Gordon, honestly. I know that's a weird comparison because we're talking, professional drivers and sim racers. But seriously, if you think of a big picture racer, someone who's not going to use his stuff up in the first couple laps and will just ease his way to the front, it's the number 92 Chevrolet Silverado of Josh Ward. He's not going to lead every lap, but he's always going to be in contention at some point or another. And that's how I see Josh Ward, big picture.
He definitely tries to keep it as clean as possible, so he's there at the end. But he also pushes for it as well. So like he definitely has the pace to be up there, and it looks like they're about to take the one to green here.
The pace lights are out, and that's the indicator that we're about to go back to green. And yes, the 15 of Chris Temp was just handed the EOL penalty for pausing or being found as the guilty party of that last incident. As we get ready to go back to green, it's like the 43 of Jeff Pogo is giving Andrew McGonigal a little bit of a bump, trying to tell him, hey, don't lay back. But up there.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be behind someone who's trying to lay back to get a jump on the restart, because that's going to mess with yours.
Absolutely. It's great when you're in front, but when you're in the back, it can be quite annoying.
Indeed, and Sobczak looks like he's taking the inside yet again on this restart. This time he's got Josh Ward on his outside.
Pace car's off, and Sobczak gets a great restart. We're back underway at Iowa.
And Ward clears the 94 a lot easier this time than he did the 91 on the last restart. So now he's not going to have to battle for second. Let's see if he can close this gap back up on Scott Sobczak here.
That 8 of Ellis Thomas, what a comeback for him. He was stuck just outside the top 15 not even 30 laps ago, and here he is looking for a spot inside the top 5.
Yeah, he is following his teammate Chris Smith there in the 28. They're trying to just... I bet they were looking for a really good run, especially after having to miss last week, since they had to do the broadcast because we weren't able to. I feel bad about taking away a race for them, but they're definitely putting on a good show here tonight to make up for it, as they're 5th and 6th at the moment.
A 3-wide battle for 14th. Rhett Tucker, Rye Jones is there as Shane Bradshaw. This is quite the battle. Tucker getting loose off the corner. And down the back straightaway. Something's got to give. Bradshaw nearly gets into Jones going into turn 3, and he's going to have to back off. That's going to allow Tucker to take the position. And Rye Jones is struggling in traffic.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he pit, if he topped off on fuel or if he got his last set of tires already, but I would not.
Thomas had a moment coming off turn 2. What a save there by the number 8.
I definitely would not have wanted to go to the back of the field like Rye did, for whatever the reason was. But yeah, great job by Ellis keeping it straight there. He did lose a spot, it looks like, to Johnny Rapp, which Rapp came out of nowhere. I'm not sure where he was, because Pienta and someone else were right behind Ellis before that. But Rapp's on making his move back towards the front, and he's definitely the points leader for a reason.
Kind of like Matt Kenseth in the 2003 Cup season. Consistency. Might not always win, but he's definitely going to be there at the end of the day.
Speaking of there, Andrew McGonigal is looking to make a move for the lead here on Scott Sobczak, as he ran him down from second there, and they've got a big gap over everyone else. But he's trying to make the move.
Sobczak run off the high side, and Sobczak continues to lead this race.
McGonigal's not going to give up that easy, though. He's definitely going to push here. As you see, he gets a good run out of 4, and he's going to try to carry that momentum through 1 and 2 here.
And Johnny Rapp, he's pushing hard, and he just flat out blows by the 28 of Chris Smith and move our points leader into the top 5.
And here goes McGonigal getting even closer again to Sobczak. He looked to the outside. Now he's going to look to the inside, going back into 1 again. Let's see if he can make the move work this time.
Looks like McGonigal moved up a lane higher in turn 3. And to make the crossover move, again, Sobczak continues to lead.
Yeah, McGonigal held it down quite a bit on exit of 2 there, which definitely killed his speed. I'm not sure why he held it down that far, but he's still right there though. He's just gonna probably keep making efforts to get this pass done. We'll see if he can get it done though before too long. Otherwise, he might burn his tires up and reel the rest of the field back up to these guys if they race too hard here.
And the battle for third is heating up as Cole Sacchetti and Josh Ward battle for position.
And here comes Johnny Rapp as well. Rapp got a huge run out of 4 that time to pull up to the rear bumper of the 10. He looks to the inside going into 3.
And Johnny Rapp, here he comes. He's going to pass Cole Sacchetti. Caught Sacchetti napping going into turn 3 and just blew right past him. Johnny Rapp to 4th spot, and now he's all over that 92 of Josh Ward. Maybe Johnny Rapp has something for these leaders as we approach lap 100 of this 150-lap event at Iowa Speedway.
He's definitely got one of the strongest trucks out there right now, so I don't blame him for using it to try to make up as much ground as possible, as well as he dives to the inside of the 92 here going down the front stretch, and he's probably going to just clear him. Yes, he does clear him on entry. Now we'll see if he's able to run down the top 2 here without too much trouble, because he's got nobody else in front of him at the moment.
Tony, we have a long way to go in this race as Rapp continues to move his way through the field. Could he potentially use up his tires too soon?
That's definitely a possibility. But Rapp does a pretty decent job of saving his tires on the usually. He also might be going as hard as he can now to make up as much time as possible, so that when he pits next time, he doesn't have to make up even more ground before the end of the race, because everyone does still have to pit one more time here, except possibly Rye Jones and anybody else that followed him down this last time, if they did take tires and fuel there.
Absolutely. And we've seen, obviously, Rapp's our points leader. We've seen him win races. We've seen him use up his tires late. I believe that was at the Milwaukee Mile where he lost it, towards the end. Was that the Milwaukee Mile?
New Hampshire.
New Hampshire. Similar track, wrong track.
Yeah, they go to New Hampshire, the Cup Series on Tuesday nights, the Tuesday night Apex Energy Cup Series for Slingshot Racing League. We do go to Milwaukee in a few weeks, I believe. Next week is Kansas for the Cup Series, though. As McGonigal's looking yet again to try to get a big run off of turn 2 here.
For the Truck Series next week, we'll be at Talladega. That is going to be a fun one, Tony.
Is that next week, or is there an off week before that? I don't remember. I know there's an
March
off week
8th.
coming up. Okay, yeah, next week.
So that's Talladega.
Well, next week's definitely going to be an interesting one with these guys, especially if it's anything like the first race at Daytona this year, where they just, I don't know what happened, but like the top 5 just decided to pull away from the rest of the field, and the rest of the field let them. So let's see if we have a tighter pack this time next week at Talladega versus Daytona. But tonight we still got 45 laps here, and McGonigal is not letting Sobczak get away, and Rapp looks to be closing in ever so slightly.
And the damaged 7 of George Fetzko is back on the racetrack, and looks like he is not running up to minimum speed, but perhaps he's being cautious and courteous to the lead lap trucks, but 7 truck doesn't look like it's running up to speed, Tony.
Yeah, I don't know if did he just come off pit road, because he might have just been letting everyone by before he merged. But yeah,
that's what I was saying.
definitely.
It's possibly he was doing that, but even when he was trying to merge onto the racetrack, it seemed that he was struggling. But then again, he did take a pretty hard hit into that outside wall.
His nose is pushed in pretty badly, and here McGonigal is still trying to do something with Sobczak here, and Rapp is He might have stalled out a little bit. He's catching them slower now, so he might have used up all his tires getting to this point. But
Zachary Dow just got off pit road, took some tires and fuel.
yeah, I think Rapp just wanted to get as close to the front as he could on this set of tires while he had the opportunity. And he might just be trying to maintain the gap now so that when they all come back down again in about 15 to 20 laps, he can have a better shot here at the end of the race.
And how about those fans, Tony? What was the consensus? Who's going to win this race?
I haven't seen anybody reply yet. I'm not sure if the chat's not showing up for me, but I do have it up here. I'm not sure if it's working or not at the moment, unfortunately.
I guess I can take a look. It looks like we have a decent amount of people watching this race, but I don't see the chat on mine either.
Everyone's just watching the great show that these guys are putting on then. McGonigal looked to the inside in 1 and 2 that time.
And it looks like Cole Sacchetti and Josh Ward are content just duking it out back and forth for that 4th position. You know, Josh Ward, like I said, big picture racer. A long way to go. Not the time to push, but Sacchetti is saying it's time to push, and he's going
Sacchetti
to...
gave him a bump down the front stretch there and then dives to the inside in 1 and 2.
He gets a little bit squirrely coming off the corner, and Ward will maintain the position. And looking at that right side, it looks like Cole Sacchetti has gone into the wall.
He's had that. He's had that since the restart, so I'm not sure if it happened with another truck on the last restart or not. But he has had that since the restart. This last time I noticed.
So a possible 4X there for the 10 of Cole Sacchetti, maybe a 2X, who knows? But looks like that was a pretty significant ding on that quarter panel.
The leaders are battling now. I don't know if that lap truck came into play, but Rapp did gain on them. And McGonigal was on Sobczak's inside the 3 and 4. He could not make the move work, and Sobczak got the run off the exit of 4 there.
And taking a look at the replay, yes, because the 25 of Tim Tokarski took that preferred line. That forced Sobczak to get into the corner deeper than how he normally enters, and that allowed McGonigal to get close to his bumper. But last, no cigar, Scott Sobczak continues to lead this race. On lap 115, let's take a look at the top 10. Scott Sobczak, Andrew McGonigal are top 2. And we have Johnny Rapp, Josh Ward, and Cole Sacchetti rounding out the top 5. And rounding out the top 10, Evan Pienta, Chase Berry, Chris Smith, Brady Powers, and Rye Jones.
And it looks like Ward and Sacchetti have reeled Rapp back in. But Rapp lost a lot of time the last couple laps here, it looks like. He's also taking a wider line through the corners now, so I think his tires are hurting him now, and he's just trying to manage them. As Ward looks to his inside, the 3 and 4, and the 15 dives to pit road to get out of the way.
Here comes McGonigal on the high side, and he's going to take the lead from Scott Sobczak. So for the first time today, no one else other than Scott Sobczak has led under green flag under normal conditions. So the Ellis Thomas has been on pit road.
Yeah, it looks like Sobczak is also going down pit road. They're making their last pit stop here with just under 35 laps to go.
That came at a impeccable timing there for Sobczak, Tony.
Yeah, I think he was just like, all right, you wanna lead this race that badly, McGonigal? You take the lead. I'm gonna go down pit road.
Now the big question is who's going to come next, and that's the 10 of Cole Sacchetti. He is the next to hit pit road.
And I'm not sure whether or not lap traffic came into play again, but Ward, who was passing Rapp before we caught the pit cycle there, has lost a ton of ground to Rapp now, who got back by him.
Yeah, it looks like the 77 of Zachary Doust didn't get a great run off turn 4, and that forced Ward to take evasive action going into 1. And he slipped ever so slightly, so Johnny Rapp maintains that position.
Chris Smith is passing Brady Powers on the outside for 6th here.
Looks like George Fetzko is back down pit road as his woes continue here at Iowa.
Yeah, Powers and Smith are definitely battling hard here for 6th place at the moment. I think that's...
Oh, and quite the moment coming off turn 4. Chris Tepp gets into the grass. He keeps it straight, no caution. And Tim Tokarski has a moment off 4. He nearly gets the wall. Here comes Scott Sobczak right underneath him.
And Powers does clear Smith for 6th there as Smith hits that bump in 1 and 2 and almost loses it. Bry Jones, who restarted in 12th, I believe, on this last restart because he pit last caution, is back up to 8th here, looking to pass both these two.
Meanwhile, up front, Andrew McGonigal continues to lead. He holds a 2.3 second advantage over Johnny Rapp, but Johnny Rapp is under attack by Josh Ward. Rapp is going to hold on to the position. Yeah, he maintains second.
The truck just did not stick on the low side there for Ward. He tried to dive it in there and clear Rapp and try to wash up a little bit. He didn't quite clear him, so he had to back off.
And Ward is going to try again. Work the low side coming off turn 4. Doesn't work this time.
It looks like there are 12 trucks on the lead lap right now. Make that 11 as the 28 of Chris Smith is also on pit road.
So Sobczak pitted much earlier than these top trucks. What's the positive?
Ward is going down pit road. Ward is also heading down pit road now.
And a spin. It looks like the 43 Jeff Pogo and Sobczak is involved. Oh my goodness.
Let us see what happened here. I was just
about to ask you, Tony, the pros and cons of short pitting. And, well, Sobczak was looking for a caution, but unfortunately, he became the caution.
Yeah, it looks like the 43 was trying to get down pit road, but the 39 right behind him just did not expect that and rear-ended him, spinning him, and Sobczak just didn't have anywhere to go as he was trying to go high to avoid him.
For 43, Jeff Pogo is heading down pit road, as you said, and Timmy Emanuel, I don't know if he didn't expect it, or maybe he was looking down on his steering column, but he just plowed the 43 Jeff Pogo, and unfortunately, Scott Sobczak took a hard impact, and that also collected Chris Lowry.
Yeah, the six got caught up in the two, but it looks like Sobczak's night might be done, and if not, it's definitely cost him the chance at winning here.
Absolutely. What a tough break for Sobczak, who started on the pole, dominated much of this race, but it looks like his night may be over. And a historical look at this type of wreck. We go back to the 2005 Pepsi 400. Jeff Gordon was driving the number 24 Pepsi Chevrolet. He let people know that he was pitting. He waved down the backstretch, but unfortunately, some others behind him weren't aware of it. That collected the likes of Mark Martin, Jamie McMurray, and some others. And another historical look, 2004 at Rockingham, the last Cup race to date at Rockingham. Ken Schrader entered pit road from the middle of the racetrack. The 48 of Jimmy Johnson, who at the time was an up-and-comer, didn't expect it and plowed right into the back of what I believe was the number 49 BAM car back in the day.
Yeah, pit cycles, especially on tighter, shorter tracks, are definitely you gotta be on your game, otherwise anything like this could happen. We are going to take a quick commercial break here. Hopefully it'll be our last one. Hopefully we get to go green the rest of the way here, and we will catch you back here in a minute.
How do we get these one-of-a-kind amazing trophies? Well, we were fortunate to find UD Awards when we started our league. We reached out and we connected with Christopher, and we got started designing these one-of-a-kind works of art. The process was easy from start to finish. After just a few revisions, we finalized each one of them, and the team at UD got to work building each trophy from scratch. They're a small team, but they've got the ability to do just about anything your brain can imagine. And don't worry, if you're not an artist, they've got an entire catalog of unique trophies in pretty much any material you can imagine. Wood, acrylic, glass, and in the case of last season's trophy, metal. The best part, they're affordable. If you're looking for a trophy for your event or league, the choice is simple. UD Awards can give you exactly what you want.
Are you looking for high-quality, affordable sim racing paint schemes and graphics? Then look no further than Evan at Evan Pienta Designs. Driven by speed, Evan Pienta Designs offers a multitude of sim racing graphics from liveries to social media graphics to team and series logos. To see some of the work done by Evan, or even race one of the public liveries he's made, head on over to tradingpaints.com and search Evan Pienta.
And welcome back to the Iowa Speedway, the Apex Energy Truck Series. And boy, oh boy, Tony, this race has taken a dramatic turn. Scott Sobczak involved in a crash. Emanuel got into the back of Jeff Pogo as the 43 was trying to enter pit road. Sobczak went to the high side to avoid it. Unfortunately, heavy front-end impact in that number 17 Chevrolet Silverado, which also collected Chris Lowry in the number 6. And now it looks like we have trouble on the racetrack as we have a delayed restart. What happened, Tony?
They might have been doing that. They might have delayed it to let the wave rounds catch up before the green, which with a shorter track is something you can see happening here. Especially with, they had like what, eight wave rounds, so it was gonna take a little bit for them to get going here.
Absolutely.
But yeah, like we were talking about under commercial there, this caution definitely was something that the top 6-7 here that stayed out until the yellow came out. They definitely loved seeing this caution because it caught all those trucks a lap down or tail end of the lead lap like that, and they're going to be on used tires already and way at the back, and these guys get to basically keep their position and take their last set of fresh tires. And we will have 19 laps to go when we take the green here.
Someone who definitely did not want to see that caution come out was the 10 of Cole Zucchetti. He's had an amazing run in his debut here in the Apex Energy Truck Series, but now back in the 12th position on this restart. He's going to have quite a tall order in his hands if he wants to win this race tonight.
And he's going to have at least 4 or 5 lap older tires than everybody in front of him, so he's going to have to really work for it to get all the spot specs. As the leader, the pace car pulls off, Andrew McGonigal takes the inside, and off he goes for the green flag here. Brady Powers
and the
spins
22
his tires.
Brady Powers did not go. Powers does not go. That's going to stack them up on the inside. And Patrick Colby and Chase Berry take advantage.
Oh, and there's a spin. Powers spins
And
out
they're
of 2.
spinning.
He keeps it straight. But he's going to lose a ton of positions there.
That was this good save there by the 22 of Brady Powers, but Tony, that all went back to that restart. It looks like the 22 missed a shift, tried to overcompensate for that mistake, and it nearly cost him his truck.
Yeah, and everyone, I'm not sure who it was that got into his rear on the restart, but whoever that was did a great job keeping it under him as well. And then everyone did a good job keeping things straight here as all that was unfolding. And up front, Rapp is trying to run down McGonigal here for the lead as we have 17 laps to go.
Looking at the replay, no one got into the back of the 22. He dove it into turn 1, got on those bumps, and it just went around on him.
Well, somebody rear-ended him at the green flag is what I was
Oh,
referencing.
okay, yeah, and that was from the shift.
Yep.
So
Rapp is dives the inside of McGonigal going into 1 here. He's trying to make the move work. He washes up a little bit, but he is fighting hard as they exit turn 2.
McGonigal has the edge. We come to lap 136 here at Iowa. 15 laps to go.
And Chase Berry and Patrick Colby and Rye Jones have all caught up to these two. So the top 5 are all right there, battling it out for the lead here as the race winds down. And Josh Ward is making his way back up. He is just past Pienta for 6th. He's trying to run these guys back down himself.
And Rye Jones, we were talking about that strategy. We were unsure if that was a good idea. It looks like it has paid off for him as he maintains the 4th position. But last week's winner, Patrick Colby, is right there as well.
And it looks like Rye Jones has some nose damage. I wonder if he's the one who rear-ended the 22 on that restart. And if so, yeah, like I said, yeah, his nose is pushed in pretty badly. So that might cause some overheating issues here before the end of the race. Hopefully for him it all checks out and he's good to go here.
Looks like he should be okay. He's holding his ground as we come down to the conclusion of this race. 12 laps to go. Andrew McGonigal holds the lead. Johnny Rapp, our points leader, in 2nd, followed by Chase Berry, Rye Jones, and Patrick Colby, our top 5. And Rye Jones looks like he nearly brushed the wall down the front straightaway.
And,
that number 91 machine is hanging in there.
Evan Pienta almost washed up into Josh Ward there in 1 and 2 and caused another wreck. They kept it under them and off each other, so we're still.
What a save there
green.
by the 06 of Jay Heischman, coming off 2. Clearly got the outside wall. And lap traffic could become a factor here. Andrew McGonigal, he's going to approach Tim Tokarski and George Fetzko, well as Zach Dowse. Those 3 machines have a rough night here at Iowa Speedway. As we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Tony, lap traffic, and depending, which line they choose, if they choose the preferred line, I mean, these guys are running nose to tail. What's going to happen here? Something's got to give.
Well, if you're McGonigal, you're hoping that they don't take your line. Otherwise.
Oh, and Tokarski did not get a good run off the corner, and McGonigal had to take evasive action.
Yeah, that definitely slowed him up. His Rapp and Berry were both able to get around him a lot smoother. They closed the gap a little bit more there, but McGonigal is still holding a nice 0.3 of a second lead here as they come out of turn 4.
Man, what a wheelman behind that number 94 of Andrew McGonigal. Was able to hold on to that machine and didn't look like he lost any ground. I mean, it just looks like a pro out there. Chase Berry gets around Johnny Rapp for 2nd. Two Fords in the top 5. 2 Fords in the top 5. And it is our leader, Andrew McGonigal, as well as Patrick Colby in the 9.
Rapp was not able to clear the 77 there, exiting 4 as quickly as he would have liked, so he lost a little bit more ground. But Berry is running down the leader here as we get closer and closer to the end. He's down to 2.5 tenths now.
Lap traffic shouldn't be an issue for the rest of the race as we hit 6 laps to go here at Iowa. Chase Berry, he dominated New Hampshire but was spun late in the race. You see some redemption for this number 5, Tony.
He was definitely not happy about how that ended up, but yeah, I'm sure he is thinking about that and going, hey, I should already have a win. I'm gonna go get that win. And he's got his sights on the 94.
What feels better than having a race taken from you?
Take it away from someone else.
A race back from someone else. Exactly. I think Chase Berry, racing for hours at an end just to get wrecked late. I think Chase Berry is going to do whatever it takes to get this victory tonight.
And it is a short track, so there are people that aren't afraid to use their bumpers if they have to.
And here comes Josh Ward looking to the inside of Patrick Colby, last week's winner, looking for a spot in the top 5. But Colby has the edge on the high side, the preferred line. Ward's going to have to dive, be aggressive here. Let's see if it sticks.
He doesn't clear him, but Patrick, He didn't quite clear him, but Patrick didn't want to right hook him and kind of gave him more room. But they are both running down the 91 and 52 in front of them.
We are coming to 2 laps to go. Here, the Apex Energy 150 at Iowa Speedway. It's been a great race. Thank you to all the fans who have been tuning in to this event. Our time together is nearly complete, at least for this week.
Yeah, with 2 to go, Chase Berry is sitting at just over 3/10 behind Andrew McGonigal. It's stayed that way the last few laps. Berry got really tight there, it looks like, on the exit. He's going to lose about half a tenth here. He's going to have to pull out everything he's got here if he wants to catch McGonigal and make the pass with 1 lap to go right now.
Looks like McGonigal gapped him down the straightaway. Chase Berry's going to have to do a Ross Chastain times 20 to catch up to that number 94 Ford 150 as they head down the back straightaway for the final time. Andrew McGonigal in that number 94 Ford F-150. Berry is going to try to do a Carl Edwards into Ross Chastain off turn 4. It's not going to work. Andrew McGonigal wins the Apex Energy 150 here at Iowa Speedway.
Yeah, Berry must have been listening to you because he did everything he could to try to make up that gap, but he still hangs on to second at least. Johnny Rapp, the points leader, comes away in third. Ryan Jones fourth, and Josh Ward edges out Patrick Colby for fifth.
What a race, guys. And that number 5 at Chase Berry, sponsored by Payday Racing, and he certainly earned that payday. Did everything he could to get that win, but it just wasn't enough at the end. But number 94, Andrew McGonigal, was there all day. Scott Sobczak dominated the race, got collected in a late race incident with the 43 of Jeff Pogo and Chris Lowry. But it is Andrew McGonigal wins tonight at Iowa, and we have guys doing burnouts on pit road as well. Why not?
Well, it was definitely a lot smoother race than I thought it was going to be. We only had 3 cautions tonight, I believe. These guys definitely did a great job out there, bring this race to a close in a nice almost 20 lap green flag run. McGonigal definitely had the truck to beat there at the end after Sobczak got caught up in that last crash. It sucks for him, but McGonigal definitely earned it after that. So great win for him, and we will get our top 3 up in the booth here for post-race interviews in just a moment. Here you go.
And Johnny Rapp, our 3rd place finisher, and still our points leader. What a great run today. Congratulations on the top 3. That was quite an entertaining race. How was it for you behind the wheel?
I don't know. Mind melting, maybe? I didn't practice much here, and my practice was the race. So, definitely lucky to finish where I finished.
Well, we did see you, try different lines during practice, maybe a couple spin outs, and, a slight struggle in qualifying. What did you learn throughout? Obviously, this was a long race, and what did you learn throughout the race that helped you get this finish?
I still don't think I learned anything, honestly. I just got lucky with, tires and caution at the end there, and well, really, I might have won it if the caution didn't come out anyway because of fuel. But regardless, I had nothing on the short run for them guys. Andrew and Chase, and Ryan and Scott and all them guys, they were guarding me. So.
Hey, you're still our points leader and still the humble driver of the number 52. Thank you again for your time, and congratulations on another great finish here at Iowa Speedway.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was your 3rd place finisher, Johnny Rapp. We will get Chase Berry here, your 2nd place finisher, in just a second. Chase, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
So, a patented Chaseberry race, huh? You're just hanging out until the end of the race there, and you were in position there to go for the win at the end. You kind of lost a little bit of ground towards the last few laps, but you definitely gave it your all there going into 3 and 4. You using the wall. How
Yeah,
did
I seen it. I seen it.
how did your race go? Did you expect this tonight? And
Um, in practice, I felt good. I was like, I didn't fall off. Like, I ran a 35 lap, 37 lap run, whatever, earlier in practice, just messing around, and I didn't fall off. It was kind of like, it felt like last night at IRP, just didn't fall off as much as everybody else. Like, I felt like on a long run, I was matching, if not faster. It's just to get going. I'm struggling figuring out how to go fast off rip and then save tires towards the middle end. But I felt good. And then at the start, I'm like, dang, I can't even keep up with nobody. Like, I dropped back. So like, yeah, whatever. I'll just pedal fire around. I'll take what I can get. And then at the end, caution came out and we had a little hanging out. Then I let Johnny try to get the 94, and then he asked me, he's like, hey, do you think you can get him? I was like, I think so. And I ran it down, and I felt decent. And just, I seen him adjust his line a little bit, and it kind of took the air off my nose, and I started getting tight. So once that happened, that was over.
well, you definitely came away with a great finish. Second place is nothing to sneeze at. We are at Talladega next week, I believe. Are you looking forward to that, or how do you think that's gonna go?
Oh, man. I mean, yeah, second, it's not too bad. I mean, except for you finish second all the time. That sucks. But, anyways, I don't know. Talladega's gonna be, a crapshoot. It's just luck of the draw. I'm pretty sure. Me, Johnny, and Ryan will all run together. We might pick up some stragglers here and there to see if we can form a pack and whatnot. Just stay out of trouble. I know I'm personally staying in the back. You know me. I'll be in the back. You'll see me at the end if I don't wreck out early.
Well, are you gonna still stay back there if it ends up like Daytona, where the top 5 just pull away, or are you not gonna you guys not gonna let that happen this time?
Oh no, I don't even remember Daytona. Oh, was that next year?
No, that was the truck's the first race. The top
Oh,
5 all worked
God.
together, and like everyone else decided to like go at 3/4 throttle the rest of the way, and
Oh,
they had like a
I
17-second
don't know.
gap.
Oh
All
yeah,
right,
I don't know. I got a random BS black flag, wink wink Scott. But and so I was out of it, so I really didn't pay attention to the whole race itself. I just finished, to be honest with you. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll
all
play
right.
it by ear.
All right. Well, congrats again on your second place. Is there anyone you'd like to thank or shout out before you head out here tonight?
Yeah, you for you and Ryan, I guess, doing a good job with the broadcast and stuff. I like to enjoy you guys whenever I'm at work and not doing nothing. Johnny, payday guys, whatever. Chris Ellis put on, oh, about it.
All right. That's your second place finisher, Chase Berry. Again, congrats on second, and hopefully see you up here next week. Have a good
Yeah.
one.
Maybe one spot higher.
Maybe. Hopefully. All right. And first, your winner tonight, Andrew McGronicle.
And meanwhile, Andrew McGonagall's probably down to a couple beers by the time we got to him. But what an incredible victory! We're there all day, uh, looking into the inside of Scott Sopsack, looking to the inside, and then you found out that Sopsack got involved in a wreck. First of all, congratulations on the win. But what were you thinking when you heard the 17 got collected in that crash?
That's actually the first time hearing about it. I just figured he was trapped a lap down for pinning under green.
Well, there you go. So breaking news there. But man, what were you thinking early in the race? Were you thinking, to push it on tires, or were you thinking of just being patient and just biding your time?
Yeah, the goal was, try to save tires in case the race went green. Feel like I probably saved a little too much. Looked down at the relative around lap 30, 35 and saw leaders were 5 or 6 seconds ahead, and decided to go ahead and push it there, and drove up to around third, I think, and had way way too much tire left. I think it was right front was still at 68, 69 when I came into pit there in that first 75 laps.
And remind me, since I'm obviously new to the series, but this is your first win of the season, is it not?
Yeah, I felt like we had a good shot at Daytona at the first race, and got caught up in a wreck, and then just plugging away at the top fives, top tens. Had a chance last week at wherever we were, Charlotte, and just messed up on a restart. Yeah, first win of the season for SSRL.
And how big is that for SSRL to get that win and keep yourself in the title hunt with such a tight championship core battling for the trophy?
Yeah, I mean, a win's always huge. I'm not sure about the point situation. Got a lot of traveling coming up the next couple weeks for work, so not sure I'll be able to commit to the full season or not. But definitely huge to get a win.
But you know what? Winning is everything. And even if you're not able to run the entire season, at least you're showing your skill and owning it out there on the racetrack. Congratulations again. And what are your thoughts about Daytona? I think, what was it? Talladega is coming up next week. What's you a big fan of plate racing?
Yeah, if things get spread out, there's some things you can do to go a little faster, and we kind of figured that out at Daytona last couple weeks back. So hopefully things go green and come back into our favor. Looking forward to that. Not sure what this All-Star week is, but I'm assuming a win qualifies you for that. So I'm definitely looking forward to for that race.
Oh, I'm sure there won't be $1 million on the line, but maybe some Monopoly money and some die-casts and other things. But in the meantime, thank you again for joining us, and congratulations on your first win of the season, and we expect many more.
Thank you, guys. I want to give you guys a shout out, man. I watched the broadcast last night. You guys do a hell of a job. I got to thank SSRL and Red Tucker Racing, all the guys there. My wife for letting me do this. It's late over here, so time to get to bed and get to work in the morning.
Sounds good. Me too.
Thank you, guys.
Yep, have a good one, Andrew. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
See you later.
All right, that is your winner tonight, Andrew McGonigal, getting his first win of the season, as Ryan said. Yeah, that was a great race out here tonight. We will run through your finishing order here real quick. Once I pull that up.
Andrew McGonigal is your winner for tonight. Chase Berry, our bridesmaid, in second. And rounding up the top five, our points leader, Johnny Rapp. Didn't have a great start to the race. Didn't have a great start to qualifying. It was actually kind of a struggle for him, but he still came home third and had a humble response. Rounding out the top five, Ryan Jones and Josh Ward. And we'll hand it to Tony to round out the top 10.
Yeah, Patrick Colby comes home sixth, last week's winner. He started 22nd, it looks like, so he definitely gained a lot of positions. Evan Pienta also gained 10 positions from 17th up to 7th. Jay Heischman finishes 8th. 9th was Brady Powers, and Chris Smith rounds out your top 10 here. As Cole Sacchetti ended up finishing 11th after starting 2nd. Nick DeChestere finishes 12th. Rhett Trucker 3rd. Ellis Thomas 4th, and 15th is Jeff Pogo. Brian?
And now, rounding out the rest of the field, these guys did not finish on the lead lap. We have Cordo Lofgren, Chris Lowry, Timmy Emanuel, of course, was involved in that crash with Scott Sopsack. Matt Kuntz, Chris Tepp, Tim Tokarski, Patrick Daubenberger, Scott Sopsack, as we mentioned, was involved in an accident. Zachary Dowse, George Fetzko, Shane Bradshaw, Jamie Leach, he was involved in an early crash. And the rest of them, Trevor Trago did not start, I believe. And Matt Sheriff did not start. And, of course, Scott Tompkins is our race control guy. So, quite the race. I was very impressed. Like, as you said, I was expecting to see, I wouldn't call it a wreck fest, but I was expecting to see more spins. But that just shows how great these guys are. And really excited to see them race at Talladega.
Yeah, it should be a pretty good show next week, as long as everyone minds their P's and Q's. And again, thanks everyone for coming out to watch, for those who did, and anyone in the future who's watching the VOD. Hope you guys enjoy this. We enjoy putting this on for you guys. Ellis and Chris, thank them for putting on the league and allowing us to do this for them. They had a good race tonight as well. yeah, we will see you guys next week. Thanks for coming, and have a good night.
And once again, guys, thank you guys for joining us. Andrew McGronigle is your winner tonight in the Apex Energy 150 at Iowa Speedway. We'll see you next week at Talladega Super Speedway for more Apex Energy Truck Series action. I'm Ryan O'Hara alongside Tony Hilbrand. Have a great night.